The two young ladies sharing bib number 23 were a team in the Winter Games ski competition. Jessica Neal on the left goes to the same school as Special Olympian Perfecta Sanchez. Up until the games, though, they didn't know much about each other. New Mexico, taking the lead from other states, put on our first official unified sports ski program. So-called special partners, kids without some form of a mental handicap, teamed up with Special Olympians. It's an idea whose time has come.
2, 1, go!
We're all human beings, and we all are really neat people, and it's fun to laugh together and play together and ski together. I think it's fantastic. It's one of the best things we've ever done.
Jessica and Perfecta enjoyed the fruits of their struggles on the slopes together on the victory stand. A Winter Games they'll never forget.
I think she's friendly and real nice.
Nicer than maybe you expected.
She fell twice.
You didn't laugh at her, did you?
Kind of.
If you can get 13-year-old kids to accept and respect other people's differences, you can get anybody in the world to. And then when they're adults and they teach their children, it's a better place for us all.
The Unified Sports Program is in its first official year with New Mexico Special Olympics. From all that I've seen and heard, it's a concept that's here to stay. Paul Davis, News 4, Albuquerque. They come from far and wide to win, to strut their stuff at the state Spirit Championships. This event has everything, from the graffiti-smeared cars, good luck dolls, hamming fans, patented NMMA security, even the Wave making a comeback in the Duke City for this. First, second, and third place trophies in 7 different categories, just like the bread and butter athletics. Schools grouped into single, double, triple, and quad A classes. They all share one thing in common, though.
It just takes a bunch of hard work to get out there and perform in front of all these people. They don't understand that it's really a hard work, and we work twice as hard as really anybody else.
No need to convince us. It's the judges who separate the pretenders from the contenders.
Mostly you're looking for how together the squads are, how synchronized their motions are, how difficult the routine is, how well they perform it on the floor.
Things don't always go as planned, but for a squad hitting every little step, chant and jig, there's the big payoff, a championship trophy, and a full year of statewide bragging rights with it.
When I was a cheerleader in high school, you didn't get this much fuss. That time, yes it is.
Hours before tonight's first pitch, the Duke's locker room stood unusually still. Uniforms, hats, bats, and gloves waiting anxiously for the boys of summer to arrive and disrupt the quiet. Many of them will be happy to find their game day cleats freshly painted up in Albuquerque red. While the grounds crew dusted off the last remnants of an ambivalent winter, eager fans gladly forked over the required currency for the right to sit under the setting sun, chomping on cotton candy, peanuts, and popcorn, maybe washing that all down with this year's new concessions offering, a lemonade chill. Oops, they may not be thawed for game time. What the heck? It's opening day.
So I have butterflies, there's no question. I woke up early this morning writing down some notes on my opening day speech to the players.
You go through spring training, working to start the season, and it finally gets here, and you're excited. You're excited for your team to do well, and you want to come out and put a fine showing on.
This is the 21st year for New Mexico's AAA son of the Major League's Dodgers. 1993's crew, a handful of familiar heroes from last season, complemented by up-and-coming stars from AA San Antone. As always, fans expect the best. It's hard to gauge this club so far, isn't it?
No, it's not. We've got a lot of the better players from last year back. Monegal, Mondesi, Night Tracks, Traxler. It's going to be a good season.
You got Lance Parrish all over your clipboard. Did you talk to him yet?
Not yet.
Why not? What are you waiting for?
He got by me.
A steady stream of would-be pony players didn't get the news that the track was shut down until they arrived. The posted announcement alluded to the jockeys refusing to ride. Actually, they voted unanimously this morning to stay off their mounts on account of a track surface they consider dangerous. Too many rocks.
One boy got hit in the face and got cut. Another boy got his goggles broke. Another boy came out with a chipped tooth. And this is severe enough to start causing bodily harm. We'd hate to see any of these guys get hurt.
Management says they've had what they call rock-picking parties off and on for weeks. They don't buy the line that this place, this track, is unsafe.
I'll get on my hands and knees right here and walk around while you have the camera on the track and sift through this racetrack, and if you can find something you consider other than a pebble in the track, it's news to us.
Not only did the jockeys refuse to ride, they also teamed up with the Horsemen's Committee to block the simulcasting of California races at the Downs. That final straw is what kept this place dark and quiet.
When was the last time you saw something like this happen?
Never. It's stupid. It really is.
Because I don't blame the jockeys for not wanting to risk their neck. You know?
It's been 8 months since Trent won the Olympic gold. Those of us forecasting, hoping for lucrative endorsement deals, were way off. He's now with his second agent, still looking to cash in. Or is he?
It was never about money for me, and if it was, I probably would have never won the gold medal. It was all about being in the Olympic Games and having a great time and enjoying a sport that is fun.
So Trent's got his gold medal, all the fame that goes with it, but very little fortune. But he's also minus a college education. Remember, he left a full scholarship at Nebraska after just 1 year to train full-time at Gold Cup under Ed Birch in Albuquerque. His old coach has no hard feelings, but some definite ideas on staying in school versus becoming a gym rat.
I think if Trent would have stayed in college, that would have nothing to do with his Olympic experience. Maybe it would have made him a little bit better. Maybe. I'm saying maybe. The little bit of time that I had Trent at my school for a year, outside people would say to me, that's the best I've seen Trent interact with a group of people. Team.
Jim Hartung was on the '84 U.S. Olympic team that won the gold. Before that, an NCAA champ at Nebraska. He's enjoyed the best of both worlds.
College is very instrumental in developing those kids. They take them out of school. They're not as strong as they're going to be. They're not as seasoned competitors. The college program develops that. A couple years later, they're going to be in the show.
I suggested Trent's road less traveled, part of a new national trend. Kids focusing on the Olympics, period.
It seems to be a New Mexico Albuquerque Gold Cup trend. They've had some of the most talented kids, and they have chosen to go that route. So they are sort of setting the trend.
UCLA's Cheney Humphrey broke with the New Mexico Gold Cup tradition. He's all set for a degree next month, but he doesn't have what Trent has, a gold medal. But Demas can always get a diploma.
Right now I'm not ready to go back to school, and when I do, I'll get my degree. It'll probably be in the next year when I start going back to school, and then I will go wholeheartedly and just finish that up. As a little kid, I always wanted to be in the Olympic Games, and for me, that was what it was all about.
We've heard the names of Bostic and Fry over the years, just two of the many elite cyclists who call New Mexico home. But how about the man behind their speed? The printout blueprint, just the beginning of David Porter's tailor-made bike frame building process. The information he programs comes from a 2-page questionnaire clients fill out.
The basic frame of the bicycle hasn't changed much over the years, say from 1928 to nowadays. This one's a lot lighter. What Porter does is help clients pedal away on rides tailor-made to personal wants and desires.
I would say it probably took about 100 frames before I really felt good about it and felt like I should start charging real money for them.
Luke Longley's not a professional cyclist, but his 7'2" frame warranted one of Porter's.
If you go into a typical bike store, the bikes are off the shelf are all proportional. They assume that most people have proportionally the same size legs and upper body.
Porter, one of only a dozen or so so-called master frame builders around the country, catering to those folks who just can't walk into any old store. Riders looking for that extra 1,000th of a second off their racing time.
Obviously, that's sort of the payback, is to see them ride off, come back 10 minutes later with a huge grin on their face, and they're happy with what they've got.
Paul Davis, News 4, Albuquerque. How much more am I going to spend?
I tell them I spar men, but I fight women.
That's an understatement. Patricia Otero just bullies women. She's New Mexico's 5-time defending Tough Woman champion. But that's all in the past. She's turning pro, even hooked on with her personal coach.
My coach trains me, and he trains me a lot different than when I was on my own training on the Tough Woman. See, I never had nobody behind me. It was all myself. Now I got my coach, and I'm doing road work, I'm doing sit-ups and sparring, and doing everything now. I go to work 8 hours a day. I come here, I come and work out for an hour and a half. Like I said, I'm a mother. I got to go home, clean the house, cook dinner, and then start over for another day.
One of the impressive things about Patricia, she realizes she doesn't know it all. And she's not content with being one of the few female boxers in the city. She wants to be the very best.
Oh, I'm learning every day. You never stop learning. Every day you learn something.
Patricia's not sure when her first professional fight's going to be. Until then, she'll keep showing up at the gym, learning the ins and outs of the sport from the guys. And every once in a while, practicing on the hubby.
Here now and then we get into it, but we put on the gloves in the kitchen and we really go at it.
Do you really?
We sure do.
You gotta agree with the boys. Or better.
Paul Davis, News 4, Albuquerque.
Really hurts.
If you don't believe Lobo catcher Sandy Hinojos, then just look at her mitt and always swollen left hand. She owes it all to 65-mile-per-hour flamethrower Dina Mullins, the Lou Gehrig of this year's UNM team, a real iron horse on the hill. Something like 230 innings pitched, nearly 200 strikeouts, and a minuscule .85 earned run average. During one stretch, she hurled in 25 consecutive games.
She's not just pitching those games. She's getting the strikeouts. She's dominating teams.
22 wins testifies to that. And that's when she's not DHing or playing third base. If you still aren't impressed with this softball machine, well, how about this? Mullins has lived with a spinal defect all her life. She plays hard, she plays often, in spite of it.
It's scoliosis. It's, most people have it, but they just don't know it. That just put more pressure on what they call the SI joint in your lower back. The muscle swelling puts pressure on the tendons and joints down there, and then that makes them hurt. It pinches and shoots down the leg and stuff.
Nothing that a long nap in the whirlpool won't soothe. Hey, she's not complaining.
If you wanted to say to Coach, I'm beat, take me out.
Yeah, there's been lots of times that way, and she's just told me, the old, when you're tired, you work harder.
Paul Davis, News 4, Albuquerque. Sumo Mania starts with total strangers suiting up in the sport's traditional garb, the oversized bodysuits that warm you up real quick. More than one fluffy pillow to fill out the frame, and the topper, a hairpiece, for that Genghis Khan look.
Dave Sparrow! There are rules. Arms behind the back, no hitting, kicking, spinning, or headbutting. First guy outside the 6x6 ring is the loser. Here we go, the big one.
Actually, it's a best 2 out of 3. The winner keeps on wrestling right up to that night's finals. How's it feel, baby? You're coming back for the big one.
Feels good.
Tell us about your technique.
I just use my weight.
Which is what?
250 without this thing on.
Did you have a game plan that's worked for you up until the final tonight?
Staying out of their way used to work. But he learned from previous players.
Nobody seems to take the matches too seriously. Most of the contestants are recruited from the lounge audience. Those who don't volunteer appreciate the bonus entertainment.
Did you find yourself pulling for somebody, having a particular favorite?
We're watching them, trying to see who could bounce the other one over.
It's 2 more weeks of prelims, then Albuquerque's finals Wednesday, June the 2nd. The eventual champ will have to deal with this character, the Z-Man. Paul Davis, News 4, Albuquerque. I'm Paul Davis reporting. Unhappy with that one, he could try again, and again, and again. $15 got you 6 balls, proceeds to junior golf programs nationwide. Today's Sun Country Regional stop on the Chrysler Long Drive Tour, sending 8 crunchers to the district competition in Vegas.
It's pressure. You know, you're competing in front of people, and you've got to do something to the optimum of your capability. And so that induces tension on top of just the pressure of performing.
It's not like you can just stand up there and whack at it either. The fairway was marked off at 40 yards wide. Lamb went outside that, and the shot didn't count.
The secret behind any monster drive is club speed. As a point of reference, most of us move the club along at about 90 miles an hour. Folks in today's competition, 160.
We use slow-mo to try and watch the club head of today's champ meet the ball. Forget it. Now you see it? No, you don't.
It's exciting enough just playing golf, but when you know you're supposed to hit it as far as you can, it's a whole other world of adrenaline.
1 or 2 of today's top 8 may make it to the national finals in Florida. Plenty of incentive.
Champion wins $18,000 cash, a new Concord Chrysler, and is immediately approached by dozens of club companies who will make available to them contracts in excess of $100,000.
Who said you drive for show and putt for dough?
My whole life has revolved around the need to go fast and be competitive.
Major Tom Ball is a lot like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Has the need for speed. Dons uniforms for the Air National Guard, Southwest Airlines,
14-7, we're cleared with 14-5.
and New Mexico's Duke City Raceway. Drives a sprint car on Saturday nights. Followed in the footsteps of his dad and granddad. Also had other childhood idols.
Both of the Unsers and Buddy Taylor, and I always knew that I wanted to do it.
Ball put the brakes on a race car career until after his stay at the U.S. Air Force Academy. The Rio Grande High product got back to the Duke City with his wings in '79. Made lots of noise at the track with Rookie of the Year honors in '87.
My dream now, my realistic goal is I've got a Silver Crown car, a Dirt Champ car, and I'm trying to run the series and run with USAC and hopefully make Rookie of the Year, make a name for myself there. Ball racing's a family thing, so when we go off racing, if we can take the whole family, we do.
Tough for you to get life insurance?
I got it all before I started racing. And I pay a high premium for it.
Maybe he deserves an above-ground rebate. Major Ball says he's a better pilot thanks to his quick reflex racing skills. And didn't I bring up Tom Cruise earlier?
Tom Cruise acted like a fighter pilot, and I am one. The second difference is Tom Cruise acted like a race car driver, and I am one. And the third thing, of course, is that I'm much better looking.
They'll go through more than one trash can full of balls at the 6th Annual New Mexico Junior Golf School. $45 gets each of the 350 or so students 5 days of golf basics. I guess if Chi-Chi Rodriguez can't be here, kids will at least know about him.
Who's first? Rachel. These are the little ones. I have the littlest kids. They're 7. So they're just kind of learning how to putt, and we're having little contests.
The finesse shots in golf are so important, but when you're young and still learning, it's always fun just to step up and give the ball a good whack.
All right. Now, take your time. Take it to the top. Swing it. Again.
Is it hard to get it into their heads to let the club do the work?
Yes. That's the hardest thing about teaching someone to hit the ball, because everyone wants the power of the ball.
When you hit it, hearing that big crack.
How's it go?
Just a...
Can't say that I've ever heard it explained that way.
It's exciting to work with kids because you get them interested, they stay for a lifetime.
Derek, are you good enough to put the ball up on that stick?
Probably not.
I'm sure his self-confidence will be a lot better come Friday when this crew is through.
Speed.
Come on, foot! Slick Fielding infielders are always in demand. They hit more than one Baltimore chop at kids who say they're handy with a glove. Gotta separate the contenders from the pretenders. Scouts have always tucked away the names of youngsters who can yank the ball out of the yard, but thanks to expansion, the hot commodity these days for the big leagues?
Pitching. 79. Power pitching. And not only are the Cubs having trouble finding it, but every other club in the National American League are having trouble. I just got a memo a week ago after the draft. We're still looking for it. That's why we're having these free agent camps.
Of the 55 or so kids brave enough to try out for the Chicago Cubs today, maybe 3 will get another phone call in the weeks or months ahead. For most of them, just having been on this field means a lot. Are you a bit more nervous for this camp because you are a Cubs fan?
Yeah, probably.